Welcome to Nicole's Nightmare Narratives. Tonight, we delve into the eerie and unsettling story of a remote hotel where guests mysteriously vanish without a trace. This is the tale of the Vanishing Hotel Guests, a mysterious tale. The history of the hotel. Our story begins with the history of the Ravenswood Hotel, an imposing Victorian structure nestled deep within the dense forests of New England. Built in the late 19th century by the enigmatic industrialist Victor Ravenswood, the hotel was intended as a luxurious retreat for the wealthy elite. Its grand architecture, lavish interiors, and secluded location made it an ideal getaway for those seeking privacy and opulence. Victor Ravenswood was a man shrouded in mystery. Known for his secretive nature and eccentric behavior, he rarely ventured beyond the hotel's grounds. Rumors circulated about his involvement in dark practices and secret societies, but nothing was ever proven. Despite these whispers, the Ravenswood Hotel thrived, attracting guests from all corners of the world. However, the hotel's prosperity was short-lived. In the early 20th century, guests began to disappear under mysterious circumstances. They would check into their rooms, only to vanish without a trace. The disappearances baffled the local authorities and sent shivers through the community. Despite extensive investigations, no evidence of foul play was ever found, and the missing guests were never located. The hotel's reputation suffered, and it was eventually abandoned, left to decay in the surrounding wilderness. For decades, it stood as a ghostly relic of a bygone era, its once grand halls now silent and empty. The reopening. In the early 21st century, the Ravenswood Hotel caught the attention of a wealthy entrepreneur named Richard Hargrove. Fascinated by its dark history and potential for profit, he purchased the property and embarked on an ambitious renovation project. His vision was to restore the hotel to its former glory and transform it into a destination for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. Hargrove spared no expense in the renovation, preserving the hotel's original charm while adding modern amenities. The reopening was highly publicized, drawing curious visitors and media attention. Despite the hotel's haunted reputation, or perhaps because of it, the rooms quickly filled with guests eager to experience the allure of the Ravenswood Hotel. Almost immediately, strange occurrences began to plague the hotel. Guests reported hearing disembodied whispers, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Despite these unsettling experiences, the hotel remained fully booked as thrill seekers were drawn to the mystery. The first disappearances. The first disappearance occurred just a few weeks after the grand reopening. A young couple, Emily and Jack Thompson, had checked into room 217, a beautifully restored suite with a view of the forest. They were last seen by the hotel staff having dinner in the lavish dining hall. The next morning, their room was found empty, their belongings untouched, and their car still parked in the lot. The disappearance of the Thompsons sent shockwaves through the hotel. Security footage showed the couple entering their room, but provided no clues about their departure. The local authorities were called in, and an extensive search was conducted in the surrounding forest, but no trace of the couple was found. A few days later, another guest vanished. This time, it was a solo traveler named Mark Stevens, who had been staying in room 303. He was last seen reading a book in the hotel's library. His room, like the Thompsons, was found undisturbed, his suitcase neatly packed, and his personal items left behind. Panic began to spread among the remaining guests. Some checked out immediately, unwilling to risk their safety. Others, driven by curiosity and a desire for answers, decided to stay. Hargrove, determined to keep the hotel operational, hired additional security and installed more surveillance cameras. He also brought in a team of paranormal investigators to explore the possibility of supernatural involvement. The paranormal investigation. The team of paranormal investigators, led by Dr. Sarah Langley, arrived with an array of equipment designed to detect and document ghostly activity. They set up cameras, audio recorders, and electromagnetic field detectors throughout the hotel. The investigation began in earnest, with the team conducting nightly sessions in the most active areas. The investigators experienced a series of unexplained phenomena. They captured EVP recordings of disembodied voices, witnessed objects moving on their own, and felt sudden drops in temperature. One particularly chilling recording featured a voice whispering, "They're here. followed by a series of unintelligible murmurs, Dr. Langley became particularly interested in room 217, where the Thompsons had disappeared. During a session in the room, she felt an intense cold spot and heard faint music playing, despite the absence of any visible source. The team's equipment detected strong electromagnetic fluctuations, suggesting the presence of a supernatural entity. As the investigation continued, the team discovered an old, hidden passageway behind a bookshelf in the hotel's library. The passageway led to a network of secret tunnels beneath the hotel. The tunnels, damp and musty, appeared to have been untouched for decades. The investigators ventured into the labyrinth, hoping to uncover clues about the disappearances. The dark secrets of the tunnels. The tunnels beneath the Ravenswood Hotel revealed a dark and sinister history. The walls were lined with strange symbols and cryptic messages, hinting at occult practices. The investigators found remnants of old furniture, suggesting that the tunnels had once been used as living quarters or meeting places. As they delved deeper, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber. In the center of the chamber stood an ancient stone altar, stained with dark, dried blood. The air was thick with a sense of malevolence, and the investigators felt an overwhelming urge to leave. However, their determination to uncover the truth kept them going. Dr. Langley examined the altar and found a collection of old, tattered books. The books, written in an archaic language, contained rituals and incantations related to summoning and binding spirits. One book, in particular, described a ritual for trapping souls within a physical object, a painting, a mirror, or even a room. The investigators realized that Victor Ravenswood had likely used these rituals to bind spirits to the hotel, possibly as part of his secretive practices. The disappearances of the guests seemed to be connected to these rituals, with the hotel itself acting as a trap for their souls. As they prepared to leave the chamber, one of the investigators, Tom, felt a sudden and intense pain. He collapsed, clutching his chest, and began to convulse. The team rushed to help him, but he was unresponsive. Dr. Langley noticed a shadowy figure emerging from the darkness, its eyes glowing with a sinister light. The figure reached out, and Tom's body went limp. The investigators fled the tunnels, carrying Tom's lifeless body. They emerged into the safety of the hotel, shaken and terrified. Dr. Langley concluded that the hotel's malevolent force was responsible for the disappearances, using the rituals to claim the souls of the guests. The attempt to end the haunting. Determined to put an end to the haunting, Dr. Langley devised a plan to perform a counter-ritual. She believed that by reversing the original ritual, she could release the trapped souls and break the hotel's dark hold. The counter-ritual required a series of complex incantations and the use of specific artifacts, some of which were found in the hidden chamber. The team prepared for the ritual. Gathering in the hotel's grand hall, they arranged the artifacts in a precise pattern and began chanting the incantations. The air grew thick with tension, and the temperature dropped sharply. Shadows flickered on the walls, and a low, ominous hum filled the room. As the ritual progressed, the investigators felt a powerful force resisting their efforts. The room shook, and objects flew across the hall. The shadowy figure from the tunnels appeared, its eyes burning with rage. Dr. Langley continued to chant, her voice steady and unwavering, despite the chaos around her. Finally, with a surge of energy, the ritual reached its climax. The shadowy figure let out a piercing scream and dissolved into a mist. The room fell silent, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. The investigators felt a sense of peace and relief, knowing that the trapped souls had been released. Unresolved mysteries and final attempts. Despite the successful ritual, Dr. Langley couldn't shake the feeling that the hotel still harbored dark secrets. She stayed behind with a few team members to conduct further investigations. One night, while combing through the hotel's old records, they discovered a diary belonging to Victor Ravenswood. The diary detailed Ravenswood's descent into madness. Obsessed with immortality and the occult, He had performed numerous rituals, attempting to bind his spirit to the hotel. His final entries spoke of a key hidden somewhere within the hotel, a safeguard in case the primary ritual was ever disrupted. Driven by this new revelation, the investigators scoured the hotel for the hidden key. Days turned into weeks, and just as they were about to give up, they found a small, ornate box hidden behind a loose brick in the cellar. Inside the box was an intricately carved, ancient-looking key. Dr. Langley felt a strange compulsion to use the key. She led the team back to the hidden chamber in the tunnels. There, she found a keyhole on the stone altar they had previously overlooked. With trepidation, she inserted the key and turned it. The ground trembled, and a hidden door within the chamber's wall creaked open, revealing a smaller, dimly lit room. Inside, they found an old mirror, its surface tarnished and covered in a thick layer of dust. As they wiped away the grime, the mirror's reflection seemed to ripple like water. Suddenly, the mirror began to glow, and the investigators felt themselves being drawn towards it. The reflection twisted and contorted, revealing the faces of the missing guests, including Emily, Jack, and Mark. Their expressions were a mix of fear and relief. The mirror, it seemed, was the true trap for their souls. With a final incantation, Dr. Langley shattered the mirror, releasing the trapped spirits. The room filled with an otherworldly light as the souls ascended, free at last. The hotel itself seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted completely. Aftermath and reflections. With the spirits freed and the rituals undone, the Ravenswood Hotel was finally at peace. Richard Hargrove decided to close the hotel permanently, turning it into a memorial for the lost souls and the site of their harrowing ordeal. Dr. Langley and her team documented their findings in meticulous detail. Their story captivated the public, becoming a bestseller and a cautionary tale about the dangers of meddling with the unknown. The Ravenswood Hotel stood as a somber reminder of the thin veil between our world and the supernatural. Despite the closure, the hotel continued to attract attention from paranormal enthusiasts and thrill seekers. Some claimed to see the spirits of the freed souls wandering the grounds, now at peace, but still lingering in the place they had once been trapped. The Ravenswood Hotel, once a place of darkness and fear, now serves as a testament to the power of determination and the strength of the human spirit. The tale of the vanishing guests and the haunted hotel will forever be etched in history, reminding us that some stories are better left untold. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the depths of the Ravenswood Hotel. Stay tuned for more chilling tales on Nicole's Nightmare Narratives. Until next time, beware of the shadows, and remember, some stories are better left untold.